What is good, y'all? It's your boy Muad. Today we have a kind of special video. As you can see, we have a little bit different change of scenery, but today we're actually going to be bringing on a couple of guests, people who have backgrounds in entrepreneurship. They've worked on their own projects and they've seen success in entrepreneurship. And I want to bring these people on so that you guys can experience the value of what it takes to become an entrepreneur and also get some advice if you're interested in entrepreneurship. So without further ado, I hope you enjoy this special video and let's go ahead and meet our guests. Cool. Okay. So first up, we have Daniel. Daniel, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself before we get into the question?
Yeah, my name is Daniel Vega. I'm a third-year applied physics student here at the University of California, Irvine. I'm pursuing a minor in material science engineering and another minor in computer science. And I am the CEO and founder of Recreate Energy.
Awesome. Okay, cool. So my first question for you, Daniel, is what was the inspiration behind wanting to become an entrepreneur?
So my entire life, I've always been very intrigued in building things, selling things, trying to find a way to start a business. And later in life, I found out that, I have ADHD. So the entrepreneur path was a very natural one for me because I'm, always innovating, always doing something, which is crucial to being able to start a business. So in between, wanting to start a business, being able to find a healthy outlet that I can express myself in and help others was, pretty much the main reason on why I wanted to become an entrepreneur.
Awesome. Great. That was a great, exceptional response. I appreciate you sharing that with me, Daniel. The next question I have for you is, what are some entrepreneurial ideas that you've pursued in the past and also potentially failed at in the past, if there were any?
One of my earliest ventures that I can remember was selling gummy worms covered with Kool-Aid powder.
Did you make that yourself?
Yeah, at my middle school and high school. I would sell those obviously for like $1 a pop. I'd made a little bit profit here and there, and then later I started a drop shipping little website, which didn't go well. And then later I was like turned off to drop shipping for different reasons. But once I came to UC, I started Recreate Energy, which is an energy technology company focused on turning microalgae into renewable crude oil to make renewable fuels, renewable energy. And then right now we're also working on a integrated grid battery system. Another venture I was pursuing was this idea of being able to turn crypto into usable cash at the cash register. So the general idea was I wanted to be able to purchase a Starbucks drink using crypto. There's no existing infrastructure for me to be able to go down to the Starbucks on campus and purchase a drink with crypto. I need to purchase it with fiat money. So the idea was to be able to convert the crypto at the point of purchase into fiat money to be able to purchase it. And all the financial stuff would be handled by the company on the back end, and the customer would not ever see any of that. That didn't work just because it's a huge undertaking. Already working on Recreate Energy, it was so much. Another one was making this like repository in which professors and researchers would be able to upload their books, their papers, and whatnot, research papers, and actually get paid for it. Because currently a lot of those professionals aren't paid. The only people that are paid are pretty much the publishing company. That's why you always find these paywalls whenever you're trying to read research papers, trying to buy books. A lot of that money goes to the publisher, not the actual authors themselves. So the idea was to flip that on its head to be able to generate some revenue for these researchers for their tremendous work.
Okay.
But yeah, so I had a bunch of ideas and I'm always looking for more, which is fun to me. Yeah.
Yeah, those were some incredible ideas. I'm really glad you shared them with me. I remember when we first started talking, maybe 4, 5, 6 months ago, you were talking about that crypto idea, and I was like, yeah, that's really cool. And the way crypto is going, there's a lot of startups I know popping around, so there's a lot of potential in that area. And tech, we know tech is, yep, it's off the rails. But thank you for sharing those ideas with me. The next question would be, what are you currently working on right now? I know you touched a little bit on your company, Recreate Energy, but put it, because I know that was a little bit of a mouthful.
Yeah.
Put it in the simplest terms for our viewers of what you are doing and what you hope to accomplish with Recreate Energy.
So the simplest I can make it is that, most of the fuels that we have to get today, like gasoline, diesel, jet fuel, all come from the ground, from this really tar-like substance called crude oil. Mm-hmm. This crude oil is sometimes called fossil fuels. And I know there's a huge meme going around like, oh, we turned dinosaurs into fuel and then whatnot. But in reality, a lot of that biomass that was turned into fuel or crude oil came from plants. Small microalgae, large forests and whatnot. A lot of that, over millions of years and high pressure and high heat were turned into crude oil. So what we're doing today at Recreate Energy is trying to imitate that, but at a much faster scale. So instead of taking millions of years to produce crude oil, we're doing it in a matter of hours. So we're growing this wonderful small little plant called microalgae, which can grow anywhere, and it's some of the simplest forms of life, which makes it easy to grow a bunch of it, and then just passing it through a system which submits it to high heat and high pressure to then convert it into crude oil. Pretty much what you get from the ground without having to drill or mine for it. Yeah.
That was great, and I know that this, if and when it is successful, has a huge potential for scale, because we know that we're going towards alternate forms of energy with seeing a lot of the electrical cars coming out. And I think recently Ford just announced that they're investing a huge sum of money into starting manufacturing buildings for electric cars. Yep. So it's a huge shift with the way things are happening with climate change and renewable energy. So it's exciting to see that we have stuff going on at different levels, right?
Yeah.
My next question for you is, what is the top thing that has been most valuable to keep you going in times of failure? Right? I know we all have those times where we're feeling like crap. We don't want to push forward. Whether it could be anything, it could be maybe like a mentor. It could be just taking a step back. But what has helped you get past that point?
So I guess it just goes with my background. I come from a low-income family. I'm a first-generation college student here at UCI. So I guess having that push and knowing that I can be able to do something not only to help my family, but being able to progress my family in the right way. And then taking the opportunity and privilege I have to be here at UCI, to be where I am, to help others who have not had that same privilege as I have. That's pretty much the driving force, because I know if I can do something about it, I can help others as well. So.
Incredible answer, and I can totally relate to being also low income and first generation. So a lot of what you're saying is something that I've had a huge perspective on. Yeah, it's not easy, but I think it's 100% well worth the effort, especially when you start to see success. The next question is, before our last question, how much time do you put into your entrepreneurial ideas, both on a weekly basis and on a daily basis? So maybe how many days a week do you work on your ideas, and maybe how many hours a day would you go on to work on those ideas?
That's funny, because to me, I feel like I don't stop. It's a constant, if not actually working, at least in my mind, I'm always thinking, okay, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to write my pitch deck, I need to improve it, I need to work on the system, I need to do some more engineering, I need to fundraise, I need to do all this stuff. And maybe it's just my ADHD brain telling me, to really focus on these little aspects. But, these little aspects helps me develop more of the business, being able to do more. So I would say pretty much when I wake up till I go to bed, I'm always at least either thinking about the business or working on the business. If not, I'm trying to improve myself in order to be able to put myself in a better position to run the business or pursue a better career.
I would totally have to relate. I don't think I have ADHD, but it's never ending, right? Because there's always something that you can do to improve your business. When I first started with the whole dropshipping e-commerce stuff, I realized that, with the competition out there, knowing that there's somebody else doing something, there's someone out there who's not taking time off. They're outworking you. You can't really slack off. You have to always be thinking ahead, whether it's something like e-commerce or dropshipping or something like you're doing. And I know you've done your competitive analysis. There's probably some competitors, a ton of competitors out there, right? So it's never ending. If you want to achieve that success, then you've just got to constantly keep going and be on top of it. And I know it kind of sounds like, wow, you're thinking about this business all the time. You don't have any life, But I think that we're driven to do these things, and this drive is something you enjoy. Part of it you enjoy, right? It's not you don't go through something that's kind of torturing and hate it, right? I mean, and that at the very end you'll either learn and grow yourself as a result. So you're really not losing. You're gaining connections, networking along the way.
That's true.
And the people out there that just don't do anything are the ones that aren't winning because they're not failing. They're not learning, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, thank you for sharing that.
Of course.
And the last question, what is one piece of advice you could leave or you would leave to a person that's an aspiring entrepreneur? They have a couple of ideas going on their head, or maybe they're just attracted by the idea of entrepreneurship. What is one advice you would leave to them that maybe you wish someone would have left to you when you kind of first decided or started thinking, I want to become an entrepreneur?
That's a really hard one. I would say recognizing the opportunities that you have to be able to start a business, to be able to be in the position to want to pursue entrepreneurship. Because being able to start a business can be one of the biggest liberators from the position you find yourself in. And many people don't have that chance because they're either working a 9 to 5, they have to take care of their families, or just life hasn't been necessarily kind to them. So I guess it's being able to stand on both of your feet and realize the opportunities that you have to be able to start a business, to be able to better the conditions for yourself. And be mindful that once you do that, you have to give back to your community because of your community is in the position that you find yourself with. You may come from very, low backgrounds, but still having the opportunity, having the health to be able to start a business is something rare that we find today in our society. So I would say, be mindful, always be humble, by the position you find yourself in, and start with the end goal of not only helping yourself, your family, but your immediate community as well. Yeah,
I really like how you mentioned that you need to recognize when you're in a position of opportunity, because a lot of us don't. And I think that when we first recognize that where we live in, if you live in the United States, simply if you live in the United States, and then if you take where we're at, which is Orange County, where it's you just add all the little things. You're able to be healthy. You're able to communicate with people. There's so many different opportunities. And once you recognize that you can take all those opportunities and actually create something enormous, then it's incredible. And giving value is also important, equally important, as you said, as you don't want to achieve success and then just forget about everyone else that you left behind, because they're the reason that you got there, and you can't exist on this world and expect to receive value and not give value back. And I've really been a huge about value in the last year or two, and starting this channel, it's mainly about giving value, because at the end of the day, you receive what you give, right? It's all a cycle. But those are all my questions. This was fantastic. I'm glad we got to talk, and I appreciate you, and thanks for coming on, Daniel.
Of course. Thank you for having me on.
Awesome. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
Okay guys, I know in the beginning of this video I said we were going to have multiple guests, but the video actually came out to be much longer than I expected, which I am completely totally cool with, because that was easily the favorite video that I have filmed since starting this channel a few months ago. I'm thinking about making this a multi-part series, so let me know if that's something you want to see. Just leave me some feedback down in the comments below if you guys like this, or whether or not I should continue these type of videos, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.